Good afternoon, my beautiful people. Good afternoon, my beautiful people. I got another great video for you guys today. But before we start today's video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Fitness and Self-Improvement. I am also on Instagram. Please follow me there, Chief Fitness and Self-Improvement. I got training programs, nutrition programs. If you're looking to start, maintain, or improve on your self-improvement journey, I am the man for you. Get at me. You will not be disappointed. Hit that notification button so when I post my videos on YouTube, you will get them as soon as you can, right? So you can watch them, learn, right? We're all in this together, learning, helping each other out on our self-improvement journey, all right? So today's video is the challenge ahead. The challenge ahead. So as you guys know, for those of you who are in Canada, we may be going into a second lockdown. I wanted to talk about this because I know when we had the first lockdown in March, I talked about this in one of my previous videos. I didn't really go into detail, but my birthday is March 29. So I remember I couldn't even go out and celebrate my birthday. I was very depressed. I was very upset because there was a lot of confusion when we had that lockdown. People were not sure what was going on. About their jobs, their finances, their families. Could we see our families? Could we not? Could we hang out with our friends? There was a lot of confusion. And I feel like that's happening again right now with those of us in Ontario. Some of us in certain cities were already in the red zone. So if you guys are not aware, the government of Ontario has come up with this three color zones. Red zone, which is basically the worst level before lockdown. We also have the orange zone and the yellow zone. So for the city I live in, I'm in the red zone. So basically in the places, from what I understand from the news, I don't really follow the news anymore, to be honest, but from what I've followed in the news or what I've heard from people around me that follow the news, red zone is 10 people in an establishment, including gyms, which I will talk about shortly. You have to stay in your home. You can't mingle with anybody outside of your home, and you only should go out if necessary, whether it's going to work, groceries, but socializing, they're saying keep that to basically nothing. You can't socialize except with people in your home. Now, speaking of gyms, for those of us who are gym rats or gym addicts like myself, I went to the gym today. The way it's structured now, you have to book an appointment. You guys that go to gyms that have to book appointments, you know what I'm talking about. You have to book an appointment now. It was an hour 15 minutes before. Now it's 15 minutes. For those of us who love the gym, 15 minutes is not enough, but we can't complain. At least the gyms are still open. Some are open, some have shut down or closed, but only 10 people are allowed. So I booked an appointment this morning. I went to the gym after work, and they allowed 10 people in. I guess these 10 people came in early. So even though you booked an appointment and there were other people that got turned back, we couldn't walk out. And some people were very angry, very frustrated, right? Because it's like, what the hell's going on here? I wasn't, because I've accepted the outcome of this. When we had the first shot, that I wasn't mentally, emotionally, and psychologically prepared. Now I am. If a second lockdown was to happen, I am ready for it because I am better able to handle it. I went through a depression. I went through a rough time, not being able to see my two kids, not being able to see my folks, my family, things like that. So I'm ready to handle this if it happens again. I hope and pray we don't get a second lockdown, but I want to talk to you guys about the challenge ahead in terms of being able to deal with this. A lot of us that went through the lockdown, whether it's losing our job, struggling with our finances, businesses, losing jobs, losing homes, not being able to see our loved ones, a lot of us are going through rough times or went through the rough times and we're not even talking about it. It was one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel. I wanted to get people to start talking about issues and addressing them head on. It's part of your self-improvement journey. You can't just hold things in. People are upset about wearing masks, but let us wear those masks. They're for our protection, for our safety, for our health. We don't want gyms closing, even though that's probably going to happen. We don't want to have to lose our jobs, which is probably going to happen unless you're in essential services like myself. If you're not in an essential worker, you're probably going to lose your job unless you have one of those jobs you can work from home. But we might be going into a second lockdown because the cases are rising in my area, in other cities around me. So people are frustrated. People are very angry. I'm hearing there might be a talk of rioting because you can only vent on social media for so long. For those people that are venting on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, my Instagram is for business, so you'll never hear me talk about things like that. But there are people I know that are venting on social media, but they can only vent for so long before they now take the laws into their own hands, which I don't advocate. I don't advocate for violence. I don't advocate for civil unrest and disturbance. But what is happening over in the US, which has been happening for several months now, it might be trickling down here to Canada. We've been too passive for long, right? Because people are fed up with no jobs, not being able to pay their rent, not being able to pay their mortgage, not being able to pay the lease finance on their cars, not being able to see their loved ones being in isolation, possibly happening again. People are frustrated, people are upset, people are fed up. But I'm here to tell you guys that we can get through this. We have to be strong mentally, not just physically. A lot of us are strong physically, but we're not mentally strong up here. This is very important, people. If you're not mentally strong, emotionally and psychologically, you're going to have a rough time with a second lockdown. It's easier said than done, I know. I went through that phase, but I had to snap out of it because I'm like, nobody is going to feel sorry for you. That's number one. Number two, we don't have any other choice. We have to stay indoors. This was the first lockdown I'm talking about. Some of us were laid off jobs like myself. We didn't have a choice. We had to stay home. So that was the main reason I started this YouTube channel. I wanted to reach as many people as possible, right? It was why I started doing my workouts at home, because prior to the lockdown, I wasn't doing workouts at home. I used to just go to the gym or do my workouts outside. But I started to buy things off Amazon just to create a small gym at home with little things I can use so I can keep myself active, keep myself busy, and not get too lazy. You know, when you spend too much time at home, it's very normal to get lazy, to lose sight of your fitness goals and things like that, right? I gained 10 pounds, mostly in my stomach area, because I was only eating 2 times a day at the beginning. I wasn't as active. Like, I was still doing my workouts at home, but I was only eating 2 times a day. And for those of you guys who know me, nutrition and dieting is very important. You should be eating at least 5 to 7 times a day, smaller meals. But I was only eating 2 times a day because I was not in the mood. I wasn't exerting enough energy to eat that much. No excuse, but that was my reasoning. I'm not working out as much as I used to be. I'm not in the mood. I was bored. I was depressed. I was sad. Until I started to write down my ideas down to start this YouTube channel. I started to learn my French again, because my French used to be very good, but I lost it over the years because I was not practicing it. And then I started to pick up my French again. I was doing at least an hour to 2 hours a day just to try and just to find things to do. Or I'll take a drive for an hour somewhere, come back, put my music on and just go. It was nice, clear my head, because it's very easy to stay stuck in the house and not do anything, right? It's not good. That's why I always tell people to get out. If you're someone who works from home or you're a stay-home mom, get out, get some air. Because if the more you stay home, the more it's going to mess your brain up. So I want to encourage you guys to face this challenge square, head on. You don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. A second lockdown is imminent. It's possibly going to happen. I'll say 90%. I'll be very surprised if we don't get a second lockdown. But we have to deal with it. We don't have a choice. We can sit here and blame our government leaders, the people in charge of making these decisions, the healthcare professionals. We can bitch and complain. But remember, people, you're alive, you're well. Your health is more important at this staging point, not just your physical health, but your mental, emotional, and psychological health. So please reach out to people, reach out to loved ones, reach out to healthcare professionals, reach out to someone like me. If you need someone to talk to, if you're feeling down, depressed, you're sad, reach out to me, send me a DM on Instagram, Chief Fitness and Self-Improvement. I'll talk to you. I've been there, I know. I don't want us to go through a phase where we might see more divorces, more separations, more domestic violence issues, maybe suicides. That's what mental health issues cause. When we're dealing with mental health issues, these things happen. We take these things for granted. Divorces, separations, suicides, domestic violence. When people do not have control of their lives anymore, that is what happens. People start to go haywire and lose sight of the real picture, the big picture, which is family, which is unity, which is peace, happiness, love, and being emotionally self-centered, which I've talked about in my videos. So reach out to people, reach out to your loved ones. We're all in this together. We don't have a choice. This is what we're dealing with. This is what's going to happen. While you are alive, be thankful. There are people that have died from COVID-19 because they didn't take proper healthcare precautions. There's some that have taken precautions and still have COVID or have died from it. So let me not say it's just people that don't take the precautions. But as long as you're alive and you're well, there's hope. You can face any challenge that comes your way. That's my advice to you. That's the best advice I give you guys. Wear your mask when you're out in a grocery store. Only step out if it's essential to meet people. I'm not going to say you should not socialize because I'm still socializing. But unless it's absolutely necessary. But between you guys and I, the only places I go to are work, gym, and my cardio, which is on the stairs where I live, the escarpment, for those of you guys who know where I live. But I don't go anywhere else. And a grocery store. But I buy enough groceries to last me for at least 2 weeks, maybe 3. So I don't have to go every weekend like I used to go. And, you know, I don't go anywhere else. So unless it's absolutely necessary, limit your interactions with people. Like I said, I'm not saying do not socialize, but be very careful. Wash your hands regularly, 20 minutes, 20 seconds with warm water. Wear your mask even in the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, don't go. Right? But take precautions so that we don't get a second lockdown, even though I think it's going to happen because the government's hands are tied now almost at this point. The healthcare professionals are putting pressure on them to do a second lockdown. And with Christmas coming, we don't want to have a worse situation happen where we can't see our families or meet our families, right? We don't know how long this is going to go on for or how long this might be in place, right? So the challenge ahead is coming. It's going to be tough with Christmas coming. This might even be a longer lockdown than the one we had in the spring because this is going to have, if it starts now, it probably will be in place for several months because it's winter. Winter is coming. So please, people, you can face this challenge. That's what we're all about on this channel, is facing the challenges ahead. Whatever that challenge might be, whether it's losing our jobs, whether it is losing our finances, whether it is not seeing our families, whatever it is. As long as you are alive, you can face any challenge that comes your way. You just have to stay positive, happy, emotionally centered, and fulfilled. Reach out to me. Reach out to people that you're close to, that you can talk to. Community. We're all in this together. All right? I love you all. As always, stay happy, stay peaceful, stay positive, stay emotionally centered. I'm out.